Hi, thank you so much for stopping by. I am TruthSeeker, and I wanted to give a little introduction and tell you a little bit about myself. So, first of all, this is my first video, and it's going to be pretty short because I was unable to figure out a good place to put my stand for my phone, so I have to hold it, and it is not gonna be good for after if I go for too long. So, let me just make it quick. I was raised a witness. I was actually born into it. Both of my parents were witnesses. All three of my brothers was also witnesses. I was baptized at the age of 9. So I was one of those very, very gung-ho witness children. Okay, very gung-ho. I was very like a goody two-shoe type of child, and I was one of those children that the other kids that were considered spiritually weak or, you know, living a double life or something, they wouldn't want to hang around me because I was the type that I would always try to encourage people to do what was right, or if they did something really bad, I would be the one to tell on them, tell their parent or tell the elders. Oh my goodness, people did not. I mean, I wasn't always that bad, but it got worse as I got into the teenage years because I was trying myself to, stay on the right course. So I felt like, I had to just work overtime to do that. But anyway, I've been gone for 20 years now, and it has really, really been a journey. A journey. Now, the reason why I'm making this YouTube video or channel is not to talk about the journey. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to talk about the journey at one point, but that's not the purpose of it. I have been wanting to talk about some things for a long time, but I just didn't know. It would either be the topic wasn't right, the timing wasn't right, you know, my mindset wasn't right. So I had to get myself together. 20 years may seem like a long time, but for some people, depending on how into it they were, it it's a necessary amount of time. So I've had enough experience, I've had enough, exposure to, other things. I've gotten to examine myself enough and really figure out, where I'm at and what I'm doing and what I want, what I believe now and all of that, to really be ready to come on YouTube. And so since a lot of people are, on lockdown with the COVID-19 stuff, some people are returning back to work, but a lot of people are still, mostly at home. I figured what better time, because the topic that I want to talk about, you guys, is a topic that I feel is kind of ignored, by a lot of ex-witnesses, but also and especially by current witnesses. I know myself, when I was a witness, I used to kind of feel uncomfortable with this particular topic because it was an uncomfortable topic. It was the Old Testament. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics about what I want to talk about in my first, subsequent videos, but let's just say I'm going to focus on the Old Testament. And it's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable because, like I said, that's an uncomfortable part of the Bible to talk about, certain areas of it at least. And I feel like it's just time to just start talking about it and really be honest about it and not hide from it or run from it and just really dissect it, To me, the way I look at it is sometimes when you look at something head on, it takes its power away. It takes its power away. And the analogy that I thought about was the Wizard of Oz. Witnesses, we always came up with some examples, right? We always did that. I don't know. I guess it was because of being in the theocratic ministry school or something. Like, I'm always trying to come up with an example for something. But anyway, when I was thinking about it, that's what I thought about. The Wizard of Oz, and how once they pulled back that curtain and saw that it was just a little man back there, they realized it was nothing to be afraid of at that point, Even though there was all this grandiose stuff going on at first, all these magical things, if you will, and things that were, made them afraid. Once they pulled back the curtain and seen what was really going on, it was like, okay, there's nothing to be afraid of. Let me just address this head on now at this point, now that I know what's really going on, what I'm working with, And that's what I feel like is necessary with this whole Old Testament thing and really the Bible as a whole. So I can't focus on everything at once, so I'm just going to start at the Old Testament and eventually probably go into some other things because I have a lot of things that I've feel like I've discovered, and a lot of things in which my beliefs have shifted over time. So I will probably talk about a lot of that eventually. But just to let you guys know also, going forward, my first few videos I probably won't be no I won't be on camera because the new house that I'm in right now, I'm still working on the lighting. I tried to be able to sit down, in there, and it just wasn't working. So I just figured I'll come outside and just do this first video, and then my next videos I'll probably just have the camera facing, out to the backyard, and just, talk, right? That way, you know what's going on when you see those first videos, okay? But eventually I'll be back on camera because I do like to be on camera. It's more interactive, of course. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I hope that you come and join me on this journey. I think it's a really important journey. I think it is time. I don't know how much you guys have been paying attention to what is going on in the world besides the COVID-19 stuff, but I feel like there is really some type of an awakening going on. I call it a spiritual awakening. A lot of people would probably be right there with me with that terminology. A lot of people are starting to step away from religion, not just Jehovah's Witnesses, Christianity and other religions as well, because there's something going on, something shifting in the consciousness of people at this present time. And I feel like it's a very exciting time. I know witnesses probably feel like it's exciting for other reasons because they think Armageddon is about to come. Yeah, I don't think so, you guys. But anyway, just keep watching for future videos. They'll be up pretty soon. Thank you so much. I hope that you subscribe, and I hope that you give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm going to be talking about. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye-bye.